Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Rich Review. So, I just got out of seeing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. My parents wanted to see this. They wanted to see it on a day that wasn't a Saturday, obviously. And this is apparently the ninth film from Quentin Tarantino. And this is my 31st review of the year. Here's the thing, folks. I am not the biggest Quentin Tarantino fan. I admire what he's trying to do with his films, but I don't worship at the altar that is Quentin Tarantino. The only film that I truly think goes out of its way to being something really special is Inglourious Basterds. So, what do I have to say about this film that compared to a whole bunch of other YouTubers are going to probably say the same thing about this latest Tarantino film that's approximately 2 hours and 40 minutes long. So basically, Quentin Tarantino recreates 1950s and 60s Hollywood here, primarily late 60s Hollywood, with Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth, obviously played by Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, who are a Robert Redford and Paul Newman type. Yes, Tarantino modeled a little bit of Shatner after him. Now, of course, do I really come to believe that Brad Pitt could easily pass for Leonardo DiCaprio in a film? Who knows? Rick Dalton has fallen on hard times. He said that his last pilot was canceled. And here's the funny thing, folks. Primarily the 50s or the 70s, there was really a whole bunch of westerns on TV idealizing the West and the fact that, yes, my mom says, oh yes, the Indians always got killed. And this gives basically Tarantino the sandbox he wants to work in by having actors periodically appear in other movies and TV shows. Have you ever want to see what Leonardo DiCaprio will look like in The Great Escape? Wonder no more. Now, of course, obviously, this being the late 60s, we have Sharon Tate, although Sharon Tate is a Springdale-looking character along with the Manson stuff. Tarantino reached out to Sharon Tate's sister Delia and not Roman Polanski, because Roman Polanski is a creep. I think this might be the best thing that has had Charlie Manson in the last couple of films, because we also had that really awful The Haunting of Sharon Tate. We also had that Charlie Stills film, which I have not seen, although I've heard things about it. I don't know if I'll watch that. I don't know if he's a hotshot director played by Al Pacino wants him to do and go over to Italy to make some Italian spaghetti westerns. I didn't realize that Italian made spaghetti westerns with a Sergio Leone ripoff name, obviously. Now this movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes long. Approximately 2 hours and 15 minutes of this is one glorious hand job to old Hollywood and the filmmaking process. How you go from pilot to pilot in hopes that your TV show will get picked up. How some Hollywood stars would eventually have to go to television, some rising television stars to go to Hollywood to try to make a name for themselves by doing that, and how sometimes it wouldn't work out all that well. And oh yes, Timothy Olyphant shows up as a guy on Lancer. And yes, Olyphant's in a Western again, but not Deadwood. Here's the thing, when it comes to biopics, I like the subject to be dead, or at least if it's about a historical event in the recent memory that enough time has passed. But oh look, Damian Lewis is Steve McQueen. How do I feel about Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate? She's the idealized version of what Sharon Tate would be in her last days. Some guy portraying Bruce Lee, that is actually quite funny. That it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long. I might be in my 30s, but my bladder simply has a problem some days with holding it in. And then, of course, we do get to that fateful night of the Tate Bianca murders, in which Tarantino does his own spin on that. And the last 15 minutes are a hoot. They really are a hoot for this. And amazingly enough, the violence in this film is surprisingly restrained. And I mean, restrained enough for a Tarantino film. Anyone else would just have at it. And also, yes, the Playboy Mansion in the 60s. Yes! So in the end, folks, what I'm going to say about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I am going to give this a Mandarin because, again, it's good. So, folks, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, earn yourself of knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.